Today, we're going to talk about something that could fundamentally change how we control AI systems. We're moving beyond just writing better policies and diving into building better architecture. It's the difference between making a suggestion and enforcing an unbreakable structural rule.
So, why is this shift so important? Well, it all starts with this core problem that you see in almost all of today's AI systems. There's this huge disconnect between what we say we want our AI to do and what it's actually built to do. It's what we call the governance gap.
I mean, think about it. Most AI safety policies are just documents. They're words on a page. And sure, they're well-intentioned, but they live in a binder somewhere, totally separate from the AI's actual programming. And that right there, that's a massive vulnerability.
This problem actually has a name: policy architecture decoupling. It's a fancy term for a really simple but kind of scary idea. It's when a company can have all the right paperwork, all the right policies written down, but the AI system itself has absolutely no built-in way to actually enforce those rules. You get this giant gap between what the policy says and what the AI can actually do.
And this analogy just nails it. A policy is like a speed limit sign. It's a suggestion, right? A good idea that you can totally ignore if you want to. But an architectural control, that's like a speed governor built right into the car's engine. It works automatically, and the key thing is, you can't just bypass it. One is a hope, the other is a physical constraint.
Right, so how do we fix this? How do we build that governor into the AI's engine? It really takes a whole different way of thinking. We have to stop just writing down rules and start, actually building them into the systems themselves.
And that's the solution, right there. You embed the governance rules directly into the technical blueprint of the AI. You start treating AI safety as an infrastructure problem, not a paperwork problem. The rules have to become part of the machine.
Okay, so let's get into the mechanics of how this actually works. The heart of this entire approach is a concept called an action gate. You can think of these gates as the basic building blocks for this new, enforceable kind of governance.
Now, this is super important. An action gate isn't just some pop-up alert. It's a structural control, a hard stop. It physically blocks a high-risk output from going anywhere until a human explicitly says it's okay. It is a non-negotiable checkpoint in the system.
So how does the gate decide when to slam shut? Well, it doesn't think or use judgment. It uses something called a binary testable trigger. All that is a simple, objective, yes or no question. For example, is the audit trail for this action complete? Yes or no. Has the scope of the project changed without approval? Yes or no. There is zero room for interpretation. It's a fact.
And you can see here, it's not just one gate. It's a whole system of them, where each one is responsible for a specific control domain. So you have a gate for scope governance to stop the AI from going off mission, another for disclosure to make sure everything is logged, and so on. Each one has a very clear job, and each one is enforced by a simple, tough-as-nails binary gate.
Okay, this all sounds pretty solid, right? But you might be wondering, what stops someone from just creating a really vague, subjective rule for one of these gates? Well, turns out there's a rule for that too.
That's where Control Domain 08, or CD08, comes in. You can think of it as the rule that governs all the other rules. It's a meta rule. Its only job is to make dead certain that every other gate in the entire system is defined by objective, testable facts. It governs the governors.
And here you can see the difference that makes. A bad rule, a subjective one, might be something like, halt if the meaning is materially different. What does materially even mean? You and I could totally disagree. CD08 says, nope, can't use that. A good deterministic rule is halt if an artifact has unlogged changes. That's a simple fact. The system can check it. The answer is always the same, no matter who's asking.
So we've got all these super objective gates, but what happens in a chaotic situation? I mean, what if an AI's output triggers like 3 different alarms all at the same time? Let's say it violates its role and it has an incomplete audit trail. Which fire do you put out first?
Well, there's no panic, there's no chaos. The system has a playbook for this. It's called the Multi-Domain Simultaneous Trigger Sequencing Rules, or MSRs. Just think of it as a strict order of operations for fixing problems. As you can see, the audit trail, CD06, is always priority number 1. And why is that? Because if you can't trust the history of what happened, nothing else even matters. The system halts, forces you to fix that first, and only then does it move down the priority list. It's a clear, predictable way to handle really complex failures.
So let's bring all this back together.
The real key takeaway here is understanding the huge difference between how most AI governance is done today versus this new architectural approach.
The old way, the way things are often done now, that's an alert system. It just flags problems and hopes a person looks at them. It relies on someone's discretion, and it can be missed or just plain ignored. But this new way, that's an enforcement system. It stops the process cold. It operates as part of the architecture, and it cannot be bypassed. This is that crucial missing layer in AI governance. Without it, you're just hoping for the best. With it, you're actually building safety into the system.
So, as we build more and more powerful AI, this is the one question we have to keep asking. Is our AI governed by a suggestion or by a structure? Because that is the difference between hoping you have control and actually architecting it from the ground up.